Hello, my friends. So today I'm sharing the somatic movement flow called Restore the Core. This is a lovely series of 4 movements that pretty much addresses every major muscle in the body, helps to repattern them so we're releasing stuck stress, chronic tension, creating more ease and freedom through our bodies, through our somas, our body minds. And this practice is a great one to do if you're short on time and just want an easy practice that helps to sort of warm up your whole body, restoring yourself head to toe. And it also helps to prepare you for the rest of your practice. So we're going to begin laying on our back. I'll meet you on the floor. So laying down on our back, either with the knees bent or extending the legs out onto the floor. Let's take a few moments just to check in, tune in, and scan gently down through our whole bodies, getting an idea of where we're starting our practice from today. So you're welcome to close your eyes or just soften your gaze. Let's take a few cleansing breaths in through the nose, out with a long, soft sigh. And just simply feel the weight of your body gently settling down onto the support of the ground, relaxing through the jaw, the shoulders, softening down through the length of your torso, back and spine, down through your hips, down through your arms and legs. And just notice how your body is resting on the floor. For instance, does one side feel heavier or lighter than the other? And what do you notice about the arch that might be under your back? Is there a bigger space there, or is your back more relaxed onto the ground? So just allow yourself to become the curious observer for a moment, knowing that there's no need to fix or change or judge anything as good or bad. We're just sort of figuring out where we are in the moment so that we can notice what changes after we go through this series. So let's take another easy breath here. And then bending your knees if your legs are stretched out. And we'll begin with the first of our 4 movements, just finding a little rotation in the hips here, as if your hips were a rolling pin. We're slowly going to roll forward into an arch, so that exaggerated space under the low back, and then to a little flattening of the low back. So drawing your belly muscles in, so your low back press onto the floor. So just do that a few times. We're looking for slow, mindful movements. And if you wish, you can begin to connect your breath into the movement. So inhaling as you roll forward onto your tailbone, and exhale as you roll back, flattening the back onto the floor. And let's just do that one more time, feeling the contrast between those 2 movements, between the arch and the curl. And then release back to neutral. Let your back settle. All right, so building our way into this full movement, arch and curl. If you have any reason that you are concerned about lifting your head, please just stay with the movement we just did, arch and flatten. Otherwise, we'll interlace the fingers behind the head. Elbows are stretched out wide, and just feel the weight of your head relaxing back and down into your hands. Now we're going to find that arch again. So tipping forward onto the tailbone and tip your head slightly back. So we're creating a little arch also underneath the neck. From here, as we flatten the back, bringing the elbows together, draw the chin slightly in as we curl, kind of into a C curve of the spine. Now, this is not about coming into a sit-up, but just engaging the muscles through the front of the body and then relaxing back down. So you open the elbows, tip the head back, arch the low back, Now just feel for a moment that we've relaxed the muscles in the front of the body, and now we're engaging the muscles through the back of the body. So it's this little play, this contrast between what muscles are engaging and what muscles are disengaging. So we're waking up a deeper core support, not creating any tension around that. And as always, take care through your neck. Okay, so let's just move through this a few times. So let's add a breath. As you inhale, tip the head slightly back, rolling forward onto your tailbone. You're in that arched position. And as you exhale, draw your belly in, elbows come together, curling into that C shape of the spine. Inhale as you slowly roll down, opening out into your arch. Exhale as you slowly curl up, engaging the front body. So think slide your rib cage down towards your hip bones. And just continue there. And you might notice that the movement feels smooth and even, or you might notice, like I'm experiencing, a little shake on that curl up, which I know is a familiar pattern in my body. And that's something that we talk about as sensory motor amnesia, SMA. And it's just that we are waking up muscles that maybe have been resting, sleeping, not fully engaging for a period of time. So you might notice that that shakiness or jitteriness maybe changes after a few repetitions here. Let's take this one more time. And the next time you release down, bring the arms to your sides. Take a deep cleansing breath. Relax through the neck. And just pause for a moment to notice how that movement felt in your body and what you might now be aware of. From feelings of warmth and blood flow and circulation flowing deeper into the muscles to just how your back is resting on the floor or anything else. Beautiful. So second part of our movement, we'll roll onto our belly. And take a moment to stretch the legs out about hips width apart, resting the forehead onto the hands. Maybe give your hips a little wiggle here. I like to take a very slow rock from side to side. So I'm consciously pressing one hip bone into the floor and then the other. And I feel like that helps to kind of settle out my sacrum and lower back a little bit more. So if that feels good in your body, you could explore that. It's like you're on a little seesaw, just rocking side to side. You just do that a few times. And then settle back to center. Again, taking a nice full breath. Feel how your breath might expand more into the back of your body here. Great. Now from here, we're going to bring our left arm down by our side. And you've got a couple of neck options. So if you know that you need to be more mindful of the cervical spine, you might keep your forehead on your hand, so the neck stays in a neutral position. Or you could turn your head to the right, so your left cheek rests on your hand, and you're looking into your your right elbow. So left cheek on hand, looking into your right elbow. Just for ease sake, so that you can hear me clearly, I'm going to keep my head in center. All right, so bring your attention just for a moment to the back side of your body and to this diagonal line from the back of your right shoulder across to this left hip and down that left leg. So we're going to move into part of what's called the X's series, and this is one half of the X. So we're moving on this diagonal line. All right, so from here, we're going to lift the chest, head, hand, all as one unit. It all comes along, and the left leg floating up, feeling that gentle contraction through the back of the body, and then slowly lower down and feel all of those muscles release and relax. Again, floating up. And how high you lift is not important. So every little bit counts here. So we're, again, just feeling that contrast of moving the muscles into contraction and then into release. Now I'm going to add one more little piece with this. If you think about keeping your left shoulder on the floor, it's going to change the dynamic of the movement a little bit. But the left shoulder is pressing down as we float the upper body and the left leg. So you might find it brings you into even a little bit of a rotation of the torso, and that's just fine. So we're changing the angle so that we can bring new awareness to new muscle groups. Let's take that one more time. And as you lower back down, bring both hands under your forehead, take a nice big cleansing breath. Perhaps wiggle out your hips a little. And simply let that movement sink and settle in. All right, now coming to the other side. So we'll bring the right arm down by our side. Again, option to keep your forehead on the back of your hand or turn and look into your left elbow this time. So that would be right cheek on your hand, looking into your left elbow. All right. So now just for a moment, please bring your attention to the back side of your body again and drawing this imaginary diagonal line from the back of your left shoulder all the way across to your right hip and out that right leg. So we're completing our X. So this is our other diagonal now. So as you're ready, we're going to lift the upper body. So again, the chest, the head, the hand, the elbow, it all comes up as one unit, and bring the right leg up as well. Good. And then slowly, incrementally lower yourself down and take this little pause for a heartbeat as you just melt onto the floor. So the muscles can feel the full range of motion from full contraction to full release. So again, let's maybe press that right shoulder down onto the floor, lifting right leg and upper body. Notice how that changes the dynamic of the movement. So again, it might take you into a little bit of a rotation. You might feel that, that lift differently across your back. I'm just going to do about 2 more. And the breath is your own here. So you can inhale on the way up and exhale on the way down. Or you could exhale on the way up, which I find if you're having difficulty lifting, sometimes that exhale will give you a little bit more support. Let's just do one more here. And as you lower and relax and fully release, we'll bring both hands under the forehead. Nice big cleansing breath, wiggle out your hips. Beautiful. And now we'll come into our third part of the movement, rolling over onto your side. So I'm rolling onto my right side. Either side is fine. We're going to do them both. So you might rest your head on your arm, or you could always place a little pillow or cushion underneath your head that might feel more comfortable for your neck and your shoulder, just making sure that the head's not pushed up so far that it's over stretching through the neck. Okay, so always neck happy. All right, so this is our side up. I'm going to break it down into its 3 parts, well, 2 parts, and then third time through, we'll put it all together. All right, so this is addressing the muscles through the side of the body and some rotation in the hip. So with the knees bent in front of your hips, the knees and feet are stacked on top of each other. We're going to keep the knees together and just lift that top foot up. Feel that that creates an internal rotation, and then lower the hip back down, foot back down. So just do that a few times, and you might place your hand here on your top of your hip and waistline so you can feel what's going on there. So perhaps you can feel that little squeeze as the leg floats up, and then that lengthening as the leg floats back down. So just do that one more time. So we're just putting our brain's attention in these different areas. waking up new awareness so that we can hopefully find a little bit more efficiency in our movement. All right, so the upper body, 2 options. So the first is your neck friendly version. That's taking your arm overhead. We will not be lifting the head with this version. So I want you to think of pressing into an invisible force. So I'm going to press my arm straight down towards my hip. I'm thinking of shoulder pressing down, armpit pressing towards the hip, and feeling a little squeeze under the armpit in the rib cage, in the muscles between the ribs here. So this is waking up your lat muscles, latissimus dorsi. Okay, so let's do that again. Let's inhale, take the arm overhead. And then exhale, feel again as if you're pushing through an invisible force. The arm presses down, the shoulder presses down, and you can feel that little squeeze through your side body, but your neck stays happy. Okay, so that's your version if you need that. Otherwise, we're going to take that top arm, wrap it around your head. So my head is relaxing into my fingertips. And I want to use about 5% effort here to press my head into my fingers as I curl up to the side. So I'm not just pulling on the neck, I'm actually pressing my head very lightly into my hand. I'm thinking reach out through my elbow, down through my shoulder. Can you feel those muscles in your side body? Hello to them. And then lower back down. Let's just do that again. So we're going to exhale, curl up to the side. Inhale, lower down. One more time, a little squeeze, like you're squeezing the bellows of an accordion as you lift, and then letting all of that fresh air in as you lower. And pause for a moment. Okay, let's put the 2 together. So you're doing either your neck friendly version or you're lifting the head. Okay, let's take a breath in to prepare. Keep your knees together. And then as you exhale, curl up to the side, lifting your top foot. So I know that's a strange feeling movement, but feel again, if you can, the contrast between the little squeeze right through the side body. So all of those side body muscles are engaged, and then the release as we lower down. Let's just do 2 more. Good. Last one. Good. As you lower down, sweep your arm around, take a nice big breath right there. And we're going to come to the other side. So either rolling across your back or sort of flipping up and over here. Finding your happy neck position. So now you know what some of your variations or your modifications might be. So we're going to flow through this side a little bit more quickly, but no less intentionally. All right. So taking care through your body. Knees stay together, and we're going to start with the legs first. So that top foot floats up. Again, just kind of feel what's happening here through the waist, through the top of that hip, and then your foot lowers down. Now, if you have a lot of hip tension, you might not feel a lot of rotation there in the hip. You might not feel a lot of movement there, and that's okay. So this is part of that getting curious, noticing what you're experiencing in your body today and how that might start to change over time as we keep practicing. All right, let's relax the foot. Whichever version you did for the upper body on the first side, you're going to do that again here. So just the upper body. We're going to curl up to the side, and we're thinking of shortening the space between the shoulder and the hip. Lower back down, lengthen that space through your side body. Again, we curl up and we lower down. We'll do that one more time. Remember, if your head is in your hand, you're lightly pressing your head into your fingertips so that we're not just pulling the head up, but that we're really finding these side body muscles to engage. All right, let's put those 2 together. Here we go. Let's take a breath in to prepare. Exhale, keep the knees together, lift your foot, curl. curl up to the side. Feel that lovely little squeeze, and then let all that fresh air in as you lower and lengthen. Exhale, curl up. Inhale, lower down. Let's just do 2 more. Good, last one. And lower, relax, bring your arm down, take a nice big cleansing breath. And let's roll onto our back. And so we're just going to bookend this movement series with the arch and curl that we started with. All right. So interlacing the fingers behind the head. Elbows out wide. And now just rolling forward onto your tailbone, tipping the chin back. So there's that arch through the back body. Draw your tummy muscles in as you tuck and curl up. Notice if it feels any different in your body this time. Head relaxes into the hands. We slowly roll down like a flower opening, blossoming into your arch. And then exhale, curling in. Let's just do 2 more to complete the series. Always moving slowly, moving with awareness, never pushing into any pain point, any place that feels like it's creating more tension or strain in your body, but rather seeking out what feels good. How can I create more awareness by softening my efforts? And finally, releasing back to center. Let your arms come down. Let's roll the head gently side, side. Choosing to stay here, or perhaps slide your legs back out onto the floor, and just getting a little after picture now. Remember how your body felt before we began. Take a nice big cleansing breath. Again, notice how your body is resting on the floor. Any new awarenesses, sensations, tuning in to your inner landscape. Shining the spotlight of awareness, of loving kindness down through your whole body to see what, if anything, might feel different, more awake, more aware, more easeful, more connected. Let everything relax. And finding a little wiggle and stretch through your fingers and toes, bringing all of this lovely new awareness with you as you come back, as you bend the knees. Take your time as you roll onto your side. And from there, press yourself back up to sitting. And thank you for joining me for this Restore the Core Somatic Movement Flow series. I hope you feel a little bit more wonderful in your body today. So just pay attention as you go about your daily activities. As you stand up and start walking around, things might feel a little bit different now. Your posture might feel different. Your gait, your stride might feel different. So just notice how you can take the information that you gathered here on the mat and bring that out into your daily activities as well. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a beautiful rest of your day. Namaste.